Hey, it's Mark Squash from the MTC Media here, live over here at John Paul Arena, where um, UVA just walked away with a very tight 56-54 win over Northeastern. The Cavaliers were led by Reese Beekman's 21 points. For Northeastern, Chris Doherty had 12 points. Well, this was a game that went back and forth, probably much to everyone's surprise. Northeastern having a 6 point lead at halftime. A lot of that was driven by the fact that UVA just at times looked lost on offense. I thought that Northeastern in the first half had a great job at clogging up the gaps, uh, forcing UVA to have someone else hit jump shots besides Isaac McNeely. I thought they did a terrific job in the first half. 1 for 5 is what McNeely shot, but it's not only the 20%. It's the whole idea that he only had 5 shot attempts. And coach talked about it after the game. He talked about 3 people are involved: the person who's handling the ball, the person who's guarding them, and the person if they're setting a screen for them. All 3 play a part at limiting opportunities, and they did a great job at it. I mean, McNeely ended up finishing 3 for 12, 2 for 6 from 3 after being on a tear over the last few games with his 3 point shooting. Probably sort of surprising, maybe not sort of surprising. Northeastern out rebounded UVA 35-28. That was something I was not expecting for that to happen. Only 7 offensive rebounds. Northeastern in the first half was doing a great job boxing out. If you're a high school coach and you wanted to have a film on making contact and sticking it there and then attacking the ball, Northeastern did a great job in the first half of doing that, and then put them up by 6. And in the second half, you hate to oversimplify it for UVA, but the truth of the matter is Reese Beekman decided that he was going to put this team on his back. He did a lot of things in screen and rolls. I had a chance to ask Coach Bennett about how UVA in the second half, especially 10 of their first 11 points in the second half, were in the paint. And they were getting a lot more paint touches. And he talked a little bit about, Northeastern had done a good job in the first half guarding their base actions. And in the second half, there was times where their actions gave them the lane, and there was just times where they set a screen for Beekman, and Beekman got 2 feet in the paint. So all of that played a part, but it did help Virginia get back into the game. It helped Virginia eventually end up taking the lead, but give Northeastern a lot of credit. Every time you thought to yourself, well, all right, Virginia's about to be Virginia. They're about to pull away. They had an answer. Virginia goes and finally takes the lead in the first half. 7-0 run, sticks Northeastern back up 25-20. In the second half, same thing. When it looked like Virginia was going to run away with it, or at least put more distance in between, Northeastern makes a run. So Northeastern did a great job, did have a chance to ask Coach what happened on that last play, and he just said they kind of fumbled it away with the ball and the pass. He kind of just smiled. It's one of those that was a lost opportunity. Frankly, for me, what I saw was Virginia did a great job at really, really jamming up their cuts. And then they couldn't get out of the cuts clean. And that play is designed to be thrown all the way across the court. So the pass is part of the design. What it was Virginia and their physicality on all the cuts and the screens. The guy just didn't get to a spot. And really, you're throwing to a spot. He didn't get to a spot. Hits off his hands. It goes out of bounds. It's Virginia's ball with less than 2 seconds left to get it in bounds. Looked like they missed the front end of the 1-and-1 on purpose, something that Georgetown could have done against DCU, but we're not going to revisit that game. But they missed it, and obviously with 0.8 seconds left, there was no way Northeastern, the guy threw the ball, it didn't even hit the rim. I mean, he tried to throw it full court and didn't go in. So Virginia walks away with 56-54 win. And afterwards, Coach Bennett even said it too. He's not going to use exams as an excuse, but when you're in an institution like this, I would not, just like with Georgetown, I would not underestimate having finals right before playing the game and what it takes to keep the academic portion of your responsibilities at a university like this. So it might have been the reason why they got off to a slow start and stuff like that. Get the engines revving up. But when you have a game like this, you know what you want to do. You just want to come out with a win. One of the things that's going to stick with me, two things that's going to stick with me. One, Virginia still has opportunities to get fast baskets, and they walk it up. And somewhere they're going to have to um, push it up a little bit more selectively. You know, when you have the opportunity, as opposed to always walking it up after a great defensive stand, I thought they could have pushed it up more and could have gotten easier baskets, which I'm a firm believer would have helped them in a game like this when they got off to a slow start from the field. And the second thing was Ryan Dunn. I thought that Dunn has seen better days. Defensively, he was good, especially on Chris Doherty in the second half. Offensively, 2 for 5, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, including an air ball. I thought he was a no-show outside the alley-oop that Beekman threw him, which ended up being a big 2 points. And it's not to say that you think he's going to be a 15, 17-point scorer. That's not it. But when you have a guy like that and you're struggling the way you are, and they're obviously trying to take away McNeely and take away that three, a guy like Dunn who has the athleticism to try to make some plays, whether it's in the paint, whether it's a one bounce attack. There are things you can do where he can be a more effective player. And let me tell you, and I'm going to have an article on this that's going to come out either tomorrow or Monday. But Ryan Dunn is on some draft boards right now for the NBA. I've seen him being in a lottery pick. I've seen him being midway if he decides to leave, because he has the body and the athleticism. I mean, he's built like a 3-and-D guy for the next level. But what he does not have is the offensive competency. What he does not have is the ability to put the ball on the floor in a competent manner. And so all this talk about or in print about the potential of where a Ryan Dunn can go in the NBA draft, I would slow my roll right now until I see a lot more than that. And for Northeastern and Colonial Athletic Association, or Coastal Athletic Association, they changed the name this year. It's a situation where this is a game that prepares them for the conference. They're not going to see better defense than what they saw today. But again, they played well. And look, if I'm Virginia, this is something where you learn how to play in the last minute. This might not have been the game that you thought was going to present those things, but these are things that you're going to do it in the games when March comes, when it really counts, when the fans think, hey, we got to win. So you never know when a game like this is going to come back and actually help you. All right, I want to get out of Charlottesville. You will see me again. You'll see me again next week sometime. I don't know if it's going to be at George Mason or Maryland or where it's going to be later in the week, but you'll see me again before Christmas. It's Mark Washington signing off from Charlottesville.